Alright gang, welcome back to our vanilla survival challenge with a twist here on Maypole Farm. It is January and obviously it snowed and snow is further in the forecast today, and I had to take the forklift out here quickly this morning. There was a runaway bale. I guess the snow got a little slippery here, and one of the bales that was on the side of the hill decided to start sliding down that hill. So I had to stop it before it got into the fence. But nonetheless, we're going to pick up all these bales today, and then more than likely we're going to probably skip January. You know, really, you're not going to plow in January with all the snow on the ground, right? And it doesn't look like at any point anytime soon that this snow is going to melt. Maybe February will be a better situation for us. I don't know for sure if it will be or not. There's a high probability that it could still have a lot of snow on the ground, but nonetheless, we are going to at least attempt to jump into February and see if there is still some snow on the ground or not. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're all doing well. Got back from Vegas a couple days ago. Red eye. I'm still pretty exhausted, pretty tired. But overall, it was good. So if you didn't watch yesterday's episode, which was an episode in the Skyfin Aquafarm series, I kind of went into detail about the trip. So I'll just briefly bring it up here. It went relatively well. I did get knocked out at the end of the first day. I could have made it to the second day. I played it exactly as I should have. I raised. A guy went all in over top of me with pocket jacks, and then ended up hitting a jack on the flop. So my kings got cracked. In that situation, at least the odds say that 81% of the time I would win that every time. So it was a little unfortunate way to end, but it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it. That's just the luck of the draw on that one. I played it exactly as I should have. If I would have had won that, I would have been in the top 10% chip stack, at least, in the tournament, which would have more than likely propelled me to, being in the money, and probably being in the money for a good amount of money. Unless, of course, day two, I got into a big hand similar to that where, it caused me to lose, I guess. But it was still a fun time. A little bit too long in Vegas since I wasn't playing in the tournament. And I mentioned before we had some friends in town. And my wife was there too. So, whenever I've got people there, I don't really like to go and play poker. Because normally if I'm going to go play poker and I'm trying to win some money, I'm playing poker for 3, 4, 5 hours, right? That's a pretty long time to leave people off by themselves. Now, granted, they're not necessarily by themselves, I guess, if you want to call it that, because my wife would be there with them, but you get what I mean, right? It's just a little, I don't know, it feels a little rude to me. Now next year I think it's just going to be me going, so that'll give me the opportunity to play a lot of poker. Probably be sick of playing poker, if I'm honest with you, by the time next year is over. Who knows? Nah, I won't be sick of playing poker. I like it too much. I play in a league, right? So, but anyway, you get what I mean. But overall, still a pretty good trip. Relatively fun for the most of the time. Didn't really win anything. Vegas had my number. It was a rough time as far as gambling goes, but yeah, it is what it is. It happens. You gotta, whatever money you take there, you gotta expect that you're gonna lose it. You can't expect that you're gonna win it every time. I'm not doing the greatest job of stacking these on here. I know that. Somebody's already yelling at me. I know. That's alright. It's okay. It's all going to be all right. We just need to put a couple of them up here and then make a trip down and then take a couple more and make another trip. Now, speaking of our animals here, there's plenty of capacity for grass. So more than likely what I'm going to do is whenever we get this stacked up, since we've got a bunch of them already at the bottom of the hill here, I think I'm going to take these over to our sheep barn. Means I'm probably also going to have to bring this forklift over there as well, but it is what it is. We don't have a ton to do today anyway, so that'll help us in the process, right? Of getting them over there. Normally, when we have a lot to do, it'd be a little something I would probably not want to do, but since it is the winter months and there's very little for us to do today, we can absolutely go ahead and do that. I don't think this is going to work. I think this one on the end is going to fall off. Sure did. Called that one, didn't I? I wonder... I bet I can. I'm going to attempt something here. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well. I'm happy to be back. Happy to be back playing the game. I've missed it. For all of you, it has not really been a break at all. But for me, starting yesterday at least, it was a bit of a break for me. So I had about a week off, which is I know crazy to think about, but it is what I had off. So happy to be back, man. Happy. All right, this is not going to plan at all, what I'm doing here. This is turning into a bit of a disaster. I'm thinking the more and more I thought about this, I'm thinking maybe I should have went with the loading trailer. I think in the long run, this forklift is going to be better off for us, but I'm thinking maybe I should have went... yeah, maybe I should have went with that loading wagon. I just think it was probably a smarter investment, and then I could have sold it after I got all the grass over here to the sheep, right? Because as I mentioned, right, the sheep are great, but I mean, we weren't. Our goal is not really for the sheep for this series. We probably are going to end up getting rid of the sheep, the pen, and everything, the goats, etc. We're probably going to get rid of all of that. Once we are, well, I guess quite frankly, once they've chewed through all this grass, I don't think we're going to keep them anymore after that. I think we'll get rid of them. But I mean, with how much grass we have, I mean, I don't know. There's a chance, I guess, that they're going to be here the whole time. I don't know. But even so, right? If I'm able to get all of the grass over there in one sitting, well, I should have known that was going to happen. If I'm able to get the grass over there all in one sitting, I mean, do I really even need, everything else that I've got here, right? I mean, eventually I'm sure we're going to do some kind of, this is going just disastrously. Yep. That is exactly how I thought that was going to go. Wonderful. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Don't be watching me for the most perfect bale stacking, pallet stacking, etc. That is not my forte. My forte is coming up with these ridiculously crazy challenges. That's my bread and butter, if you will. I'm about to push these a little bit further. There's a big time lag drop right there. Did you see that? That was nuts. I'm not sure this is going to work. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I'm not sure we're going to get this to work. Yeah, this isn't going to work. I'm just going to knock the other ones off. Okay. Well, you know what? We'll strap them down, I guess. I'm just going to throw a couple more on top here if I can, and then we'll take them over there. Like I said, I'm likely going to have to bring this over there as well, but since that sheep pen holds so much grass, I feel like we should, just bring over a lot more now that it's the winter months anyway. I guess is how I should put it. I guess that's how I probably should have started the episode, but anyway. Now, real quick, if you are watching this and not already frustrated about how terribly I'm stacking these bales, which I'm sure you are, but you've yet to do so, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for me, man. It helps me out an absolute ton if you do that. There's a lot of you. I don't really look at it very often, but there's a lot of you that are not subscribed to the channel and watching my videos. So if you are one of those individuals, help me out, man. It's completely free, and it helps me an absolute ton. Subscribe if you haven't done that, just so you can stay up to date when I release new videos. But liking the video is by far the easiest and the best way to help me out. It helps get the video in YouTube's algorithm out to more people, etc., right? Says this person likes this. All of these people like this. Maybe I should post it to more people potentially, right? That's the easiest way to help me. This is not going to go well. Called that. So last time we took these over here, the actual production itself did not automatically accept. Okay, evidently we're already flipping this bale over. I don't know how that happened, but alright. This did not accept it off the trailer, which is why I'm saying I'm probably going to have to come over there with the forks here, with the forklift. I don't think it's going to take them off the trailer, unfortunately. It's a little... I wish it would. That would make my life much easier, but... You know, we are playing vanilla, right? A lot of people have said in the past, well, why don't you just do this, this, and this? Well, I can't. It's vanilla with a twist, and that twist is specifically designed for the only thing we're allowed to use is any base game stuff, which does not have liftable bale or pallet mods, and any DLCs that came out from Giants, specifically, not mods, DLCs. And the only mods that are allowed are anything that came with this map, which this map is a mod, but that is literally the only mod that is allowed. The map mod and anything that has to be installed for the map to, to function properly. That's it. Nothing else. I know some people were asking about, in the comments at least, why I was out for a little while. And speaking of that, I do apologize for taking so long to get back to some of you. It was not on purpose. It's just the fact that, well, I was in Vegas. And, yeah, I just didn't really have a whole lot of time. As much time as I would have liked. But, I mean, when you're in Vegas, obviously, you know, that's probably the... It's probably pretty obvious. Alright, I think we just dropped another bale. We did. We did. Wonderful. I think I'm able to slide that one up on the other side here. This is the worst stacking job I think I've ever done. And I've done some pretty bad stacking jobs. The first time I did the stacking, it actually went relatively well. We're sliding over the place, too, because of the snow. It actually went relatively well. This time is not happening the same way. And you could argue that maybe I'm a little rusty. For all of you, you may not think... Well, no, you definitely think I'm rusty, but you may not realize, you know. But it's been a week since I've done a video, so yeah. Perfect. I would have also loved if our baler could have flipped the bales on their side like this. If that would have been the case, our life would be so much easier. But unfortunately, that was not the case. Our life would be so much easier if we were able to flip them over on their side. Well, I say their side. I mean, I guess that's relative, right? You could argue they're on their side right now, but you get what I mean. This is probably going to be all we're going to be able to get up here, honestly. Which leaves a small amount. Those most of the time... Ooh. Most of those we'll be able to just, you know, pick them up directly with the forklift here and take them down to our shed, right? Should be a problem. These might be a problem. They might fall off. As a matter of fact, I can tell you the one on the end there is going to fall off. I can already tell you that. I already know it. Let's try to give it a little bit more of a area for it to fall into, like that. All right, this is not perfect, but you know what? It's there. Let's take them up to the sheep. We'll have to bring the forklift over there to get these off again. And then we'll come back here and get the remainders of those and put them down here in our shed down here. And we'll go from there. I don't think... the more I think about the sheep here, I guess it depends. Like, you know, later on in the series, if we have a full pen full of sheep and goats, right? I guess maybe we will definitely start to run out of grass itself. But since there's so much meadow grass there, I think it's going to be a long time anyway before, you know, we're ever even at that situation. Like I said, we may be done with the series by then. My intention for this series is around 30 or so episodes. Maybe a few more, maybe a few less, somewhere in that range. You know, somewhere between high 20s to, you know, high 30s at the most, right? That was at least my intention, my goal. If it doesn't happen that way, whoops, went a little too far there. I'm going to blame that on the snow. I don't think it was the snow, but we're going to blame it on the snow in this instance. But you never know, right? My intention was that same thing for the Vintage Survival series. You all enjoyed it as much as I was, so we ended up carrying that one along for a lot longer. And some of you were upset that it did end, right? But those of you that are missing that, don't worry. It'll be back. I promise. It will be back. Different map. Different setup. Haven't fully decided how I'm going to run it. I'm not sure if I'm going to take, you know, what it is, or makes near no difference the amount of funds that we started with, or that we ended with, or if we're going to start something completely new. I haven't fully made all that decision up yet. Really haven't needed to make that decision up yet. Because we're not ready for that yet. But when the time does come, right, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out what we decide to do. All right, gang, welcome to February. Now, that did take a lot longer than I actually thought or anticipated it was going to take. But we got it done. All of the bales are put away. We've got quite a number of bales actually in here. for the sheep. There's 4 of them over here for the immediate future. I did leave the pallet fork over here just because, well, the forklift, I guess I should say, over here just because, well, why not? We're going to have this stuff that we're going to be selling at some point in the near future, and that's really what it's going to be used for more. There's plenty of grass in there. As you can see, they have plenty of food. Plenty of meadow grass, plenty of actual grass, even though the capacity allows for a hell of a lot more to go in there. Eventually, at some point, we will get there. But yeah, there's 22 animals in there currently, which is great. They are 40% through the point to where they can start to reproduce. Excuse me. They can start to reproduce, which will be good, right? Once we get to that point where they can start to reproduce, that's really going to help us. It is February now. The snow has subsided, at least has melted, I guess I should say. There's no more snow on the ground, so that does mean that we can begin doing our plowing work today. Now, I will be fully transparent with you. We will not get the plowing done today. More than likely what's going to happen is we'll start the plowing work, see how far we get along, and then kind of complete that in the next episode. The next episode, likely, we will still be in February. It'll be a second episode in February. Even a chance, potentially, for us to start and jump and at least start March as well. We will see how things go in that episode. Very foggy today. Very, very foggy today. But no snow on the ground, which is a good thing for us. That means we can actually get some work accomplished and done here. All right, we're back here. I'm just going to kind of touch up this field that we kind of plowed in the last episode. I think it could be a little bit wider than we had made it. Kind of angled in a little bit more. So we're just going to try to kind of clean it up a little bit here. Try to make it look a tiny bit better. Certainly not going to be perfect no matter which way I do it. So I need to get that out of my mind that I'm looking for perfection here. But as long as it's a little bit better, then I'll be happy with it, right? Yeah, it's a little bit better. Still not perfect, as I mentioned, but it's a little bit better nonetheless. Okay, so we are going to make our second field here. We said we were going to kind of do them on the side here. Probably have the chance here to make some of these a little bit wider than I'm actually making them at current. But, yeah, we're going to kind of roll with it as it is for the time being, and then maybe we'll change it up later on after we see how things get going, I guess is how I'll put it. But, yeah, it's we're underway, man. We are underway. This is going to be good, man. It's going to give us one small field and 2 relatively decent-sized fields here. This is going to be a good thing for us, right? This is going to make us a lot of money. I'm going to back up here a little bit if I can. It's not the easiest thing in the world to back up but we're going to try to make this a little bit wider here. Alright, I think that should be pretty good. So we'll kind of run down the edge here and around, and like I said, make a couple of passes here, and then likely the remainder of this will happen in the next episode. It did take me a hell of a lot longer to do all of those bales than I had actually anticipated. It took a lot longer than I anticipated, actually. I could say I could give you an excuse that it's because I'm super rusty, and I think part of that is the case. But I also can just straight up tell you that's just not my forte. I've said that from the beginning. If you're coming here to look for somebody who does an amazing job or amazing work with stacking bales and pallets, that is not me. That is not me. Maybe if I don't know. I'm probably way off here. Maybe if I was on, a different setup, maybe I'd have a better chance at doing that. I don't know, but it's just not the easiest thing in the world. And I don't think anybody actually truly enjoys it from at least from what I've heard in the comments, right? From people that have made comments or just in discussion with individuals that I do a lot of different series with, like Rusty Money Gaming and Crestu, etc. I just don't think anybody specifically likes it. I think that's why a lot of people utilize that liftable bale and pallet mod, right? Because, well, quite frankly, it's just not the most enjoyable thing to do. But as I've mentioned before, and a lot of you have asked, I don't know why you continue to do it. Well, you know, I try to get better at it. The only way to get better at it is to continue to do it. So that's why I do it as often as I can without actually utilizing that. But sometimes it's just there's nothing for it, right? Especially in the, you know, like the series, the competitive one-tile challenge that I'm running with Crustu and Rusty Money Gaming, right? That, you know, sometimes it's just easier to utilize that because it gives you more ability to get things done faster, especially since we're only doing, you know, one episode per week on that series, right? It's not a whole lot of time for you to get, you know, a whole lot done, if that makes sense. We are struggling up this hill still. I'm telling you what. It's really blurry for some reason, too. I don't know if you guys are noticing that on your side or if it's just me, but just the tractor name of the aggro and everything, it's just blurry for some reason. I don't know why. I haven't made any changes. Maybe Giants made an update, maybe, when I was gone. I don't know, but I haven't made any changes, but that just looked a little too blurry for me. I have to get in that close for it to actually see it, right? That's a little blurry. I don't know. Anyway. I missed a little piece there. That's all right. We'll get that. It's not a big deal. We will come back and touch that up. These fields are going to be good size, though, right? We're going to make a lot of money off this. We really are. If you think about it, this is going to provide us a good chunk of change here. We're going to try to back this up here and realign this for a minute here. Now, the beauty of this is, you know, once we're done, you know, setting up these fields, we're not going to have to do it again, right? We're going to have to plow it up again at some point. You know that's a fact, but you don't necessarily have to, depending on what drill we buy or what seeder we buy, right? As long as it's a direct seeder or drill, we'll be fine. It really just matters on if we buy that or not, and that's more than likely what we're going to be saving our money up for, so I don't have to do the plowing every single time. Now, granted, doing that is probably going to cost us a little bit more money in the long run because we will have to do, you know, herbicide, etc. But I've mentioned it a number of times that I actually enjoy doing solid fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, herbicide. I do. A lot of people don't know why. I guess probably the same kind of reasons that you could argue that I don't like rolling, right? The same kind of reasons I probably is what you could say there. But for whatever reason, it doesn't bother me. I actually enjoy doing it. So for me personally, just so I don't have to deal with this plow that often, I'm probably going to go that route, even with the understanding that it's going to cost me a little bit more money to do that. I just like well, I mean, they're both kind of pull behind plows, so I guess that's not really a good example of what the ones I like. But these are a more traditional plow that we're pulling right now. I like the more untraditional, which is just, you know, width straight across the back being pulled. It's just easier for me to plow a field with that than this way. And you could argue that, well, maybe the reason why is because you don't ever use these plows, and you're correct. I don't. That is 100% one of the reasons why. But anyway, that's just my personal preference, I guess, is how we'll put it. But yeah, we've got almost. Well, I guess we have not even almost. We have 2 full windroad. I told you guys I'm rusty. Give me a break here. Give me a break. We have 2 full headland passes completed here. And we're going to complete the rest of this field in the next episode. So for this one, we are going to leave it at this point. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, and you have yet to do so, smash the like, subscribe button for me. It's free. Helps me an absolute ton. Thoughts, questions, comments, ideas, as always, let me know down below. I'm happy to get back to you on all of those. Thank you to my members. Cannot thank them enough. If you are interested in that or knowing what all of that is about, you do get early access to videos like this one, including the competitive one-tile challenge. You normally get that video at a bare minimum 4 days early, bare minimum. A lot of times it's a little bit more than that, closer to 5. Normally, I record that series Tuesday night with the guys, and then when we're done recording, I actually go straight into editing it, just to try to get it out there as fast as I can for all of you. So if that is something that interests you, seeing that early, maybe consider looking at that. There's a link down below for that as well. You can also just hit the join on the video itself, and it'll give you all the details. There's multiple options to choose from. And, yeah, my other channel, it's going strong as well. We've got current playthrough right now of Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm also doing some Dynasty Warriors stuff, as there's some new Dynasty Warriors stuff on the horizon, and that is really what I started that channel for, was playing Dynasty Warriors. Dynasty Warriors is one of my favorite games. It's a childhood game of mine. I grew up playing Dynasty Warriors 2 and onwards. I did play Dynasty Warriors 1, but it wasn't really my steam, and if you don't know anything about Dynasty Warriors 1 was more of a fighter, like a Street Fighter type of game. I've never really been huge into those games. I know a lot of people are. Just not really ever my cup of tea. Dynasty Warriors is more of like a hack and slash with thousands of enemies on the screen, if you will. Well, at least the new ones have thousands of enemies on the screen at the same time. But yeah, I grew up playing that. Loved that game. It's one of my favorite games of all time. And even though they're relatively repetitive, the old ones at least, just something about it, man. It's just fun. It's just mindless fun, if you will. But anyway, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, I am running both of those right now. And like I said, there'll be a new Dynasty Warriors DLC that's coming out, I think, in 3 days? Well, when this comes out, it'll be... Yeah, I guess it will be 2 days, I guess, when this comes out, or around that. I don't know. So I'm excited about that. And then they do have a remaster of one of the original games, Dynasty Warriors 3. I'm super excited about that. That's coming out, I think in March. I think it was March. It's around March. If it isn't, it's somewhere in that time period. I'm super excited about that as well. You know, like I said, I started playing Dynasty Warriors 2, so Dynasty Warriors 3 was 100% right there in the midst of the childhood days, if you will. Maybe a little bit older than childhood, but still, nonetheless, it is early on. And, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for your support on both channels. And we'll see you next time.